Yeah, we just finished our Monday morning truth meeting. I let them sleep in a little bit longer after the long night we had, and did a little different Monday so that we could try to recoup a little rest. I'm always conscious of it's just a long season, and when you have those long trips, there's no way to you lose a night's rest. And I think most of us, even talking to our kids this morning, when they were so used to getting up early that even when you go to bed at 4 a.m., you still are up 7 or 8 o'clock. If that's good for me if I can stay that long. But so anyway, let them sleep in a little. We're doing a little different Monday, but truths of the game were just our kids showed an enormous amount of grit, fight, belief, and I didn't think anybody ever really wavered that that we weren't going to find a way to try to win the game, and I appreciate that about our staff, our coaches, and our players. So that was gratifying to see, to find a way to win a difficult game on the road when we certainly did not play extremely well. So it was very gratifying. That's the truth. Is the ultimate goal is to win a game and put yourself one step closer to being bowl eligible. Our kids found a way to do that, and so that certainly was quite gratifying. There's a lot of positives. Special teams wise, we eliminated their return game, which was excellent last year. Punt protection was very good. Field goal protection was very solid. Negatives on special teams, the 2 penalties were not good, uncalled for. And obviously we missed a field goal that could have won the game. But I was proud of Nick. I thought he swung his leg with confidence all night. I thought he even handled the miss the way you're supposed to handle it, and I'm excited about the possibilities of him having a really solid year. Didn't think we rushed the field goal unit very well, so we got to rush better. We saw last night in last night's game how important and vital that can be to give extreme effort on those plays. Defensively, some incredible positives. Won 75% of third down, which is unheard of, 100% of fourth downs. We were 80% in the red zone, 5 takeaways, held them to field goals every time in OT or a stop, 2 goal line stands. Negatives, the 5 explosive plays we gave them, all could have been eliminated really either with poor tackling or just bad technique and coverage. And we had 20 missed tackles and 5 penalties on that side. Eyes got bad in the second half, in the secondary a little bit. I'm a little mad at myself. I knew that I just foolishly believed that they were going to, go with a traditional quarterback offense. And second half, they saved it for the second half, which was smart, and came out in it was our exact coastal plan in the bowl game that Sam carried from here. And that's hard. You got a zero coverage, and we didn't work very hard on that stuff and making sure our eyes were disciplined. They hurt us with some explosive plays out of that. But, we did make some good adjustments there. Our staff did, and kind of controlled it when we needed to. Offensively, we had 16 explosive plays. Fourth quarter production was really good. In overtime, I thought we were solid. Again, 5 penalties and 3 turnovers is unacceptable, and our short yardage plan was bad. And so I've got to get those fixed. We can't have this many penalties. That's just not the sign of a great disciplined football team, and got to get our short yardage stuff fixed on offense. But again, the bottom line, kids found a way to win. And give them a lot of credit for the leadership and the grit that they showed.
Hugh, do you have anything official on Charlie Brewer?
Charlie is having his scan tomorrow, and then surgery to follow. The scan is just to see if they're going to put pins or a plate in it. The plate would be the shorter term, is my understanding. So I'm not sure which one they're going with yet.
Is there a timetable for that, or is it?
Well, if it's the plate, they think he could be back earlier. Earlier meaning 5 to 6 weeks. Pins probably 7 to 8 weeks.
Is that his hand or his forearm?
It's in the base of his thumb.
Okay.
Do you know when he got injured?
The first series on the he played a few snaps after it, but he on one of the throws hit one of their helmets.
Do you have a plan this week for quarterback?
Play one of them. We're fixing to get together as soon as I get through here, and we'll start looking at what the plan is and what suits everybody between JB, Nate, and Caden, and kind of go from there.
What is the status for TJ Green in the upcoming games?
I think TJ's still a week away. That was last week. Last week I was told probably the Wake Forest week.
We talked about it some Saturday night, but just what Caden was able to do, his first meaningful snaps at a college level, and going into the week, third on the depth chart, not getting a ton of snaps during practice, and to lead 2 fourth-quarter drives when you're trailing by a touchdown, and get your team tied up and into overtime, and then to ultimately pull it out in overtime.
Yeah, I mean, couldn't be prouder. I thought he elevated the whole team, all the players around him. There's been no secret. We felt like he is extremely talented, and it's just a matter of him handling everything that comes with playing that position. And hopefully this motivates him to try to make sure that the details of his life, the details of preparation, the details of studying the game like it needs to be studied, and the offense like it needs to be studied, hopefully that motivates him, because there's no question, everyone saw and witnessed, what his potential is. And obviously we got to eliminate the disaster plays. We got a chance to win the game there, I believe, with under 6 minutes, and tried to force one where I think he could have run it probably all the way to the 5-yard line. If he just – then there's other plays. He makes phenomenal throws. That throw he made after the holding call to Jerome, and then the one in the 2-point conversion, that window is as big as that chair. And, and he has that skill set to be able to do that. And so I was very proud of him, and hopefully this really motivates him to go to the next level as a redshirt freshman, and embrace the opportunity that could be in front of him.
To be down 7 and say, hey, you're going in the game, that first drive to result in a touchdown, then to see everything he did afterwards, was that something where you say as a redshirt freshman getting your first meaningful snaps, man, this is what I wanted to see?
Yeah, it was pretty exciting to witness and to watch, and and even the last after they got the explosive pass play and got down to the 5, and I had I thought we managed our timeouts very well. We had all 3 of them at the end of both halves, and obviously the discussion right then is should we let them score? So that we get the ball back with adequate time. And I've got my timeouts, or I can use all 3 of my timeouts and maybe hold them to a field goal. And I just felt like that felt like we could go down and score. And what a drive! We didn't even have to use our other timeouts, but we practice that all the time. And it was a great drive to see him take us down and score. So, now we just got to get the other stuff cleaned up. The last possession of the fourth quarter, it takes care of that. Hopefully we're not in that overtime game. And, and they don't have the opportunity to go back down and maybe score if we could milk some clock there and do it. But there's no question. I mean, for his first outing, not getting significant reps for practice and the game plan, I thought it was way above average.
You said after the game you thought that with Caden, now you have to get a plan together for him, maybe so he can understand it better, call the right protection.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Well, that's what I mean. Does he seize this opportunity to study and plan and prepare? Even in the success that we had, that he called some wrong protections, and he, got out of trouble a couple times. But we've got to set those protections right, and we've got to go the right way on a called run play, or and those are the things that he's very capable of doing it. We just got to lock him in and make sure that we feel very good about the entire game plan with him if should he be the guy. And again, I didn't think JB played bad. That's obviously the turnover right there, and he missed a couple of open receivers, but he also did some good things. And I think Nate can do some good things. I've said that all along. I thought we had 4 guys that could make some plays. So let's see how the week goes.
What was it about JB that you felt like you need to make the?
Well, I didn't think we had any juice at that moment. And obviously the pick 6 was, gave them the lead, I believe. And that was, we'd missed a couple of open throws, and just thought maybe let's see if, Kay Salt can give us a little spark.
Looking ahead to UAB, it's a good team that's coming here, and they look good in week 1. What can you expect out of them?
I just, we're 6.5, 7-point underdog at home against a team that's probably been the best team in Conference USA over the last few years, or arguably one of the best, and physically gifted, extremely physical on defense. Secondary, I think, is extremely talented. Held their first opponent under 100 yards rushing, and very little passing also, and they play fast. They were 16th ranked in the country last year in defense. So we got another. I think Southern's going to be a top 25 defense, and we're looking at another one this week that's the same. So they take takeaways. Last year had 12 takeaways in 13 of their games. So linebackers are physical, up front's good. They mix it up between odd and evens. Hard. These defensive coordinators have gotten like us offensive guys, and they're very multiple now. It's very hard. It used to be a lot easier, man. Folks just line up in 4 down, cover 4. I felt like we were going to score a lot of points. And now it's every coverage and every front, and it makes play calling a lot harder. Then offensively, they got the quarterback back. The running backs are very talented and interchangeable starters like last year. Wide receivers are probably the deepest we might see all year. Very dangerous threats there. So they use their tight ends extremely well. They get in 12 personnel, but it's not 12 personnel really with the pitchers they give you. Just, Coach Vincent's taking over, but he's, been with Bill Clark a long time, and I'm sure that they remember last year and the disappointing loss they had to us opening their stadium, and it will be a very, very difficult, challenging game for us again.
Got one online from Jermaine Farrell, FXR. Jermaine, go ahead.
Well, good morning, Coach. First of all, congratulations on the victory, sir.
Well, thank you, Jermaine.
Appreciate it. Got a question to ask you. When you look at, the pros, they get a preseason game, they get to scrimmage other teams in an intra-squad thing. High schools even get to do scrimmages and benefit games. But at the Division I college level, you guys don't have that opportunity, so you pretty much got to do everything in game 1. Is there a situation, or you would like to see, where you guys at the college level have an opportunity to maybe scrimmage someone else or do things like that to sort of work out the
Yeah, I think it's one of those things that the leadership, whoever, I'm not even sure if it's the rules committee or the NCAA, it's just one of those things where it makes zero sense that we don't get to do that. I don't understand it, never will. If they don't want us to do it in the fall, then let us do it in the spring and have a scrimmage. I've made the proposal every conference I've been in. Let's have a spring game. Let's charge $10 for every spring game and give every bit of it to charity after you pay the visiting team's travel buses. Do it with local teams as you can, whether it's an FCS opponent or whoever, and let's all adopt a charity and give back to communities that we operate in. But I think it's crazy. They talk about health and safety of our kids. Then the most dangerous situations we're in is when we're scrimmaging each other. We got 22 people of our own out there. You play somebody else, you only have 11. The percentages go down. So it doesn't make any sense to me that we can't do that. If NFL can get together and control a scrimmage, surely two of us colleges that are not playing each other on that given year could get together and let's practice against each other one time. And probably the second week of camp would be the best to do it. But I don't know. It just makes no sense that we can't, truthfully, and I don't even know the reasoning behind it.
What about a mixed practice? With the NFL, if you
Yeah, same thing. Yeah, same thing. Just let's us in Virginia. We're not playing this year. Let's get together and have a mixed practice one day or 2 days and have a couple live periods in it and find out a little bit more about your team. It would make perfect sense to me and to most coaches, I would think.
Ed, online?
Building on that, Hugh, where do you anticipate the biggest jump in terms of quality of your team's performance improving from that Southern Miss game to UAB, just by virtue of having the game under your belt and now having had a chance to review that?
I would hope it is a reduced in penalties and turnovers for sure, and situational awareness. On another positive note, I just got to give props to our nutritionist Danielle and to our strength staff Dom. I thought our kids were in phenomenal shape. Played 100 plays of football. I don't know how long the game lasted. I didn't look at that, but not a single cramp, not a single. And I didn't think we played. I thought our D-line dominated their offensive line. I thought in the fourth quarter. Thought our O-line did much better in the fourth quarter too. So give props to that. So I'm happy where we are there. But I would hope to see us just be more disciplined and better situational awareness.
Thank you.
You brought up like how good their run defense is. How would you grade out your offensive line and running backs from week one? And do you need to see better production out of it?
Yeah, we I think we averaged 5 yards a carry, 5.1, but some of that skewed because of the quarterback scrambles. Probably we would rush for 280 something. That's a solid night. I think it's 280 something. I can't, but that's a solid night. 280 rushes. Would I like for it to see it formed a little differently? Yes, but some of the stuff they were playing us a lot of too high early on in the game, and we're not going to let us throw RPOs. And when you do that, the quarterback draw game and run game is one of the first things I like to go to, and it was very good to us. You empty it out, and their box is really light, and so kind of try to play to what they're giving us too. But yeah, I would like to see us improve. We didn't play terrible up front. I thought our pad level was a little high early on in the game, but yeah, I'd like to see. I thought Day-Day and Shadro ran it hard. I'd like to get us some more production in the traditional run game.
You guys made a change at center in the second half with John Curtis going in there. Is that something you see going forward? Is he going to be in the mix to start?
I don't care who starts. These depth charts that y'all all worry about and throw out. Who cares? I mean, you're going to play, hopefully 9 or 10 linemen. We should have played more because 2 of our guys played 94 snaps. That's too many. I had a conversation with Coach K this morning about that. We can't do that. It's a long season. We've got to play more guys, but the plan was all along to play both, and Cam made a couple mistakes there that really cost us one on a play where we didn't even have a play call. It was 4th down. We're not snapping it even if they jump, unless they blow it dead and make contact with us, and we snap the ball, and that's just I've got to coach that better, obviously. So, but the plan was to play John all along. So we believe in both of them. We need them both.
I know you're locked into game week coverage and prep, but Friday news came out about the college football playoff expanding to 12 teams. As you kind of look ahead to the future, Liberty moving to Conference USA, expected 6 automatic bids to conference champion winners. How much of a game changer is that, especially for a program like yours?
I saw Ian McCall tweet out "boom," so I mean, for him, that's pretty exciting for Ian. For him to do something like that, and I would echo those sentiments. I just think, the chances are greater now than they were for us. Do I still think it's an easy road? No. But do I think it's a possible road? Yes, and I'm all into possibilities. And you have a special year like we had in 2020, and you get to that 10 wins and have a couple of good wins here and there, and you're right into discussions, and you get a few breaks with some other schools losing some critical games, and all of a sudden you find your way in. I think there's a lot of questions that I would have, and I don't know. Should we shorten the season to 10 or 11 games and save a little money? And some of those teams are going. That's a long season on a student athlete. But our game's changing, and it's more and more about the money than it is being the student athlete in some people's eyes. But there's certainly a greater chance for schools like us to be in the mix with the expansion. So I think that's a real positive. I hope that the other bowl games don't lose some of the excitement that I know our kids have experienced. And I think it's important to go to bowl games, and that's why you play. But I'm all in on it expanding. I don't know exactly what that looks like, but I like the fact that we have a better chance now than we did a week ago.
You're going to work with Ian going forward to get a fishing or golfing video for his next boom tweet?
Oh, we might need to do that. We could get Ian doing a boom tweet, and I could send it out on the next commitment.
How is Charlie taking this?
Very hurt, very, very disappointed and down, and he, obviously he's was wanting to rewrite his last chapter of college football quite differently than what it's going to be. That's one of those challenges in life that we get. And I just talked to our team for 30 minutes on our theme for this week, and that I had planned a long time ago, and it was a message that I'm sure Charlie needed to hear this morning. And man, we're all on a potter's wheel, and we all got cracks, and we all got fractures, and sometimes we even get broken. And but we got to get back on the wheel and repair those and stay in the fight and don't lose heart. And that's challenging sometimes, and I'm sure he's going through that right now, and just hurt for him, really.
Do you see him being the type down on the field during games, coaching those guys up since?
Yeah, I don't know. That's something that we'll have to. He's not the most vocal guy. He kind of respects other people's, but we'll see. We'll talk to him about that.